You can't truly love anyone else until you love yourself. That's not just a catchy phrase, it's a powerful truth that many people overlook in their pursuit of romantic relationships. We live in a world that often tells us that love is something we seek outside ourselves, that we're incomplete without someone else to fill that void. But let me tell you something, there's a power in understanding that love begins within. It starts with you. You've got to learn to see your own worth before anyone else can see it. If you're looking for love in all the wrong places, if you're waiting for someone else to complete you, you're selling yourself short. The moment you begin to truly value who you are with all your imperfections and all your greatness, you'll notice that the relationships you attract change. They'll be more genuine, more fulfilling, and most importantly, they'll reflect the love you have cultivated for yourself. But this process isn't easy. It's not something that happens overnight. Loving yourself requires you to look in the mirror, not just to see your reflection, but to see your potential, your history, your struggles, your triumphs, and yes, your scars. Every part of you matters. You are a masterpiece in progress. And once you understand that, you'll stop seeking approval from others. You'll stop chasing after love because you'll already be full of it. What happens when you don't embrace self-love? You begin to seek validation in places and people who aren't able to give you what you truly need. You start building your life around the idea that your worth is tied to someone else's opinion of you. And that's a dangerous place to be. You'll end up feeling incomplete, restless, and constantly searching for something that will never satisfy you. Self-love isn't about being arrogant or self-centered. It's about recognizing that you are enough just as you are. It's about realizing that your value isn't determined by how others treat you, by what they think of you, or by whether or not you're in a relationship. You are enough because you exist. Your worth is intrinsic, not based on external circumstances. And when you embrace this, everything changes. When you stop chasing love and start loving yourself, you become magnetic. People are drawn to confidence, to authenticity, to someone who knows who they are and what they bring to the table. You become a force, not because you're seeking validation, but because you've already validated yourself. You've recognized that the most important relationship you would ever have is the one with yourself. So stop looking for love. It's already inside of you. Begin with you. Love yourself first and everything else will fall into place. When you do, you'll discover that the right people, the right opportunities, and the right love will find you at the perfect time. It will no longer be something you're searching for. It will be something that simply flows into your life. Because love doesn't come from the outside. It starts right here in your heart. Desperation is a powerful force, but it's a dangerous one. When you're desperate for love, you begin to make decisions that are not aligned with who you really are. You compromise your values, your standards, and even your peace of mind, all in the name of finding someone to fill the void. But let me tell you something, desperation does not attract love. It attracts desperation. When you act from a place of neediness, you're not showing up as your best self. You're showing up as someone who is just trying to fill a gap, and that energy is palpable. People can sense when you're desperate. They can feel that you're looking for them to be your savior, to give you something you think you're missing. And let me tell you, no one can fill that void but you. No one can give you the validation, the love, and the approval that you should already be giving yourself. But when you're desperate, you're not thinking about that. You're thinking about how much you need someone to save you, and that's when you find yourself in relationships that aren't healthy, that aren't balanced. And that won't bring you the fulfillment you're truly seeking. Desperation leads to poor decisions. It leads you to settle for less than you deserve. You might find yourself accepting behavior that you normally never tolerate simply because you don't want to be alone. You might overlook red flags, ignore your own instincts, and justify things that are clearly wrong, all because you're afraid of being single, afraid of not being loved. But let me remind you, being alone is not the same as being lonely. You can be single and whole, you can be single and complete, you can be single and at peace, And until you realize that, until you stop trying to force love into your life, you will continue to attract the wrong people in the wrong situations. True love doesn't come from desperation. It comes from abundance. It comes from a place of confidence, of knowing who you are and what you bring to the table. When you stop seeking love from a place of lack, you begin to attract the right people who are aligned with who you are, who are capable of giving you the kind of love that's healthy, mutual, and real. But here's the thing, love can't find you when you're desperately running after it. It can't find you when you're busy chasing it down, because love isn't something you can chase. It's something that comes naturally when you're focused on your own life, your own growth, and your own world well-being. When you stop chasing and start living, love finds its way to you. It flows into your life when you're least expecting it. And it's the kind of love that fills you up, not empties you. So stop running after it. Stop searching for it in all the wrong places. Focus on yourself. Pour into your own life, your own passions, your own purpose, and watch how everything changes. Desperation won't bring you love. But confidence, peace, and self-worth will open the door for it to come rushing in. You have to stop seeking love from a place of need and start living from a place of fullness. When you do that, you'll attract the kind of love that's worth having, the kind of love that completes you, not because you need it, but because you're already complete. When you focus on growth, you unlock something powerful within you. It's like planting a seed in the soil of your life and nurturing it until it blooms into something beautiful. Growth is not just about getting older or adding another year to your life. It's about becoming a better version of yourself. It's about aligning your actions with your purpose, your values, and your dreams. When you focus on growth, you're not distracted by the idea of needing someone else to complete you. Instead, you're so caught up in becoming the best version of who you're meant to be that love finds its way into your life naturally. The truth is, when you pour your energy into personal growth, the right people will be drawn to you. You don't have to go searching for love, because love will find you. When you're focused on improving your skills, deepening your wisdom, and sharpening your mind, you begin to radiate confidence and clarity. People notice that energy. They notice when you're living with purpose, and they are naturally attracted to it. You don't have to chase love. It's attracted to you when you live a life that is authentic, fulfilled, and intentional. Focusing on growth means you take the time to develop yourself mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. You make the choice to invest in your mind, whether it's through reading, learning, or seeking wisdom from those who inspire you. You grow by confronting your fears, by stepping outside of your comfort zone, and by showing up every day with the intention to evolve. Growth means breaking down old patterns, old habits, and old beliefs that no longer serve you. It's about creating space for new things to enter your life and allowing yourself to become the person who's capable of handling those blessings. When you focus on growth, you also learn how to deal with setbacks. Life isn't always going to go the way you plan, and there will be moments where you'll feel like giving up. But it's in those moments that you grow the most. Growth teaches you resilience. It teaches you how to get back up after a fall. It teaches you how to trust the process, even when the results aren't immediate. Every setback is an opportunity for growth. And when you focus on growth, you begin to see every obstacle as part of your journey, not as something that can hold you back. As you grow, you begin to understand your own worth and value. You don't need external validation to know that you are enough. You understand that your growth is not just for your own benefit, it's for the benefit of the people you will impact along the way. When you focus on growing, you become someone who is grounded in their identity. You no longer seek approval or acceptance from others because you've already accepted yourself. And when love comes, it comes at the right time. It comes when you are strong, whole, and ready to receive it. When you're focused on growth, love won't be something that completes you. It will be something that enhances the life you've already built. It will complement your growth, not fill a void. And that's when you know you're ready. When you're focused on growth, you're not just building a better life for yourself, you're building a better future for everyone you meet along the way. And love is just one of the many beautiful byproducts of that journey. Patience is a virtue, but it's also a powerful force when it comes to love. Too often we rush into things because we feel like time is slipping away, or we believe that we need to have everything figured out right now. But love doesn't work that way. It doesn't operate on your timeline, and it doesn't respond to your sense of urgency. Love moves at its own pace, and sometimes that pace is slower than we expect. But that doesn't mean it's any less real or worth the wait. When we trust in the process of life, we understand that love will come when we are ready, not when we are desperate. And being ready doesn't just mean wanting love, it means being prepared for the responsibility and the joy that it brings. It means being whole within yourself, standing firm in who you are, and knowing what you need in a relationship before you allow someone else into your world. We don't just want love, we need to be ready to nurture it, to give it the care and the tear and attention it deserves. Patience teaches us that love is not something that can be rushed or forced. Think about all the things in your life that have required patience. Whether it's building a career, watching your children grow, or watching a dream come to fruition, all of those things took time. They required you to wait, sometimes for seasons, sometimes through struggles, but the outcome was worth it. And love is no different. When you rush into relationships, when you force connections to happen because you're impatient, you may end up with something that wasn't meant for you in the first place. It's like trying to harvest fruit before it's ripe. It might look good on the surface, but it won't taste right, and it won't last. Patience also teaches us to trust God's timing. You can't force the right person into your life no matter how hard you try. You can't make someone love you, and you can't make a relationship work if the foundation isn't solid. The timing of life is never a mistake. There's a reason why certain things happen at certain times. Maybe right now isn't your season for love because you're meant to focus on something else. Maybe you need to grow more, heal more, or simply be more at peace with where you are before love can find its way to you. Trusting that timing will take away the stress of trying to control the process. And don't confuse patience with passivity. Patience doesn't mean doing nothing and waiting for something to happen. Patience means continuing to live your life fully, continuing to pursue your passions, continuing to grow, and continuing to become the best version of yourself. It means trusting that while you're doing all the right things, everything else will fall into place at the right time. Love will show up when you least expect it, not because you were chasing it, but because you were focused on the things that matter. When you are patient, you don't settle. You wait for the kind of love that adds to your life, not the kind that takes away from it. You wait for a love that aligns with your purpose, with your dreams, and with who you are becoming. It doesn't come prematurely, and it doesn't come when you're desperate. It comes when you're ready, when you're fully aligned with your own life, and when the timing is perfect. So don't rush. Trust in the process, trust in the timing, and trust that love will come at exactly the right moment. It's always worth the wait. You were made to be who you are, not who someone else wants you to be. Authenticity is the bedrock of any meaningful relationship, because when you show up as yourself without pretense or fear, you give others permission to do the same. There's no power in trying to fit into someone else's mold or becoming what you think others want. That's not love, that's manipulation. And no one wants to be loved for a version of themselves that doesn't truly exist. Love isn't about pleasing others, it's about connecting on the deepest, most genuine level. And that only happens when you're living in your truth. When you try to be someone you're not, the energy you put into that act is draining. It's like wearing clothes that don't fit, pretending to be someone you're not, and constantly having to keep up appearances. Eventually, you get tired. You start losing parts of yourself in the process, and before you know it, you're stuck in a cycle of pretending, hoping that somehow someone will notice you and love you for the version of you that's only a shadow of who you really are. But here's the thing, love can't find you in that space. True love comes to the person who is standing tall, confidently being themselves, flaws and all. Love shows up when you stop hiding, stop pretending, and stop wearing the mask that you think will make others accept you. People are drawn to authenticity. There's something magnetic about someone who is comfortable in their own skin, someone who doesn't need to be anyone else to fit in. When you stop trying to fit into someone else's idea of who you should be, you become a magnet for the right kind of people, the ones who will love you for exactly who you are. They will see your worth, your strength, your beauty, not because you're pretending to be someone else, but because you're showing up as your true self. And when you live authentically, you attract relationships that are built on real connection, not on false pretenses or surface level attractions. Authenticity also teaches you to stop seeking approval. Too often we live our lives trying to please others, trying to get validation, trying to earn love by being who we think people want us to be, but seeking validation from others leaves you empty. When you live for the approval of others, you give away your power. You allow someone else to dictate your worth. But when you live authentically, you validate yourself. You stop depending on external validation to tell you who you are. You know who you are, and that's enough. And when you know who you are, you no longer have to chase love. You no longer have to beg for affection or attention. You're already whole, and the right people will see that and come to you. And the beauty of living authentically is that it frees you. It frees you from the weight of comparison. It frees you from the burden of constantly measuring yourself against others. It allows you to walk in your purpose with confidence. You can't walk in your purpose if you're pretending to be someone you're not. Your purpose has your name on it. It's yours and yours alone, and it's up to you to claim it. When you live authentically, you step into the fullness of who you were created to be. You stop wasting energy on being someone you're not, and you focus that energy on becoming the best version of yourself. Love isn't about finding someone who completes you. It's about finding someone who sees you, all of you, and still chooses to walk beside you. But you can only attract that kind of love when you're living in your truth. When you stop pretending, stop hiding, and start living fully as the person you were always meant to be. And when you do, love won't be something you chase. It will be something that finds you right where you are, because you're finally showing up as the most beautiful, authentic version of yourself. There's a quiet power in choosing peace over chaos, and that peace starts from within. Too often we allow external circumstances, other people's opinions, our own fears to disrupt our inner calm. We let the noise of the world drown out the still small voice that knows what's best for us. But let me tell you, when you choose peace, you're making a choice that changes everything. You're telling the world that your worth is not defined by drama, by toxic relationships, or by situations that drain your energy. Peace is a force. And when you prioritize it, you start to attract the kind of life you deserve. Peace doesn't mean avoiding conflict or pretending that everything is perfect. It doesn't mean living in denial or suppressing your feelings. No, peace comes from the ability to remain centered even in the midst of chaos. It's about knowing who you are, understanding your boundaries, and being willing to protect your emotional space at all costs. When you find peace within yourself, you stop seeking it in places and people who can't give it to you. You stop looking for peace in others' approval, in the excitement of a new relationship, or in the validation of your worth. You realize that true peace comes when you stop chasing it and start creating it in your own heart. When peace is your priority, you begin to understand that not every fight is yours to fight. Not every argument needs your response. You learn to walk away from drama, to avoid situations that will disturb your peace. The world is full of distractions, full of noise, full of people who want to pull you into their chaos. But when you choose peace, you refuse to engage in anything that robs you of your calm. You guard your heart, your mind, and your spirit like the precious treasures they are. And as you do, you begin to notice something incredible happening. Your relationships begin to change. When you find peace within, you attract people who are also centered, who aren't looking for drama, and who want to build something real and lasting. Peaceful relationships are based on respect, understanding, and mutual growth. You stop attracting people who feed off of negativity because you've created a space in your life that only allows for positivity, love, and joy. You don't need to settle for anything less because you understand that peace is non-negotiable. Choosing peace also means letting go of the need for control. So often we try to control every outcome, every situation, and every person around us. We try to force things to work out in our favor, even when we know deep down that it's not the right path. But peace comes when we let go of that control and trust the process of life. We trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should, even when we don't see it or understand it. We trust that the right relationships, the right opportunities, and the right love will come at the right time, and we don't have to force it. When peace becomes a priority in your life, you stop chasing after things that aren't meant for you. You stop running after love, after validation, after approval. You begin to let go of the weight of needing to prove anything to anyone. And in that release, you create space for the kind of love, joy, and fulfillment that will last. So choose peace, protect it, cultivate it, and watch how it transforms your life. When you make peace your priority, love will find its way to you, not as a frantic chase, but as a calm, steady flow that will sustain you for a lifetime.